The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning to everyone, and a very pleasant evening to those dialing in from different parts of the world today. My name is Karen Fujiwara. This webinar today on performance and goals is second session as part of our SuccessFactors webinar series. For this webinar today, we will be reviewing performance and goals solution that SuccessFactors has developed and delivered. With me, I have Cody Carlson, who will be doing a live demonstration of the solution within the tool. And he'll walk us through various areas of features and functionalities. Cody, would you please introduce yourself for a minute?
Sure, Karen. Thanks for joining us today for the SuccessFactors Performance and Goals webinar. I am Cody Carlson, a solution engineer with YASH Technologies. And today I will be your performance and goals tour guide. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody. Before we review the solution and get into the weeds, why don't we go ahead, Cody, and take a peek in the agenda for today to see what our next 45, 50 minutes will look like. So as you see on my screen, I will be spending a few minutes on introducing the YASH and YASH's HCM and SuccessFactors overview. And from there, we will look at high-level functionality within the solution, various process areas, just enough to get you all oriented. From there, I'll hand off the presentation rights to Cody to have us give us a live walkthrough of the solution. And towards the end, we'll wrap up and take any questions that our attendees will have for today. Please, on the questions node, continue to post your questions in the questions tab in the webinar. And my team will keep tabs on your questions, and we'll try to respond to as many as we can at the end, depending on the time. For those interested to learn more about SuccessFactors or YASH's HCM capabilities, I will, towards the end, display my information for a short time in case anybody would like to reach out to me to talk about YASH or SuccessFactors itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at YASH's overview and our HCM practice. As an organization, YASH was founded in 1996. And today we have about 3,500 employees on enterprise level. Now, in terms of HCM practice, we have about 120 HR professionals that are engaged and working on different things, whether those are on-premise solutions, typically SAP, ERP solution, and or cloud, or it could be hybrid. We as an organization have onshore and offshore capabilities, and we support our customers on various solution models that you see on my screen, whether it's a full HCM in cloud or on-premise. We do have tons of experience in hybrid solutions lately where customers have leveraged their core ECC system for their core HR information for the employees and actually integrated that with the various components of SuccessFactors Talent Suite, various modules, and continue to build upon that roadmap from there. So that is what, as an organization, we are able to, anything from hire to retire and anything in between, we have capabilities to address for any organization out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at what SuccessFactors model and opportunity brings to the table. So in today's as global environment as we live in, where businesses are constantly evolving and changing, and so is the organizational processes as an outcome of that constant evolvement and the change. Most organizations have a challenge turning their strategy into business results. Maybe it is due to the lack of focus on the execution, or perhaps there may be an execution gap between what your needs are and how you're going about it. Now, here's an opportunity to eliminate that execution gap. What you see on my screen is a cloud end-to-end solution, and this is exactly what SuccessFactors brings to the table to help the organization to turn your strategy into the business results. This is an integrated solution that also supports a full set mobile devices and functions across the suite. So it's fully mobile-enabled product. SuccessFactors BizX Suite helps you do three things better than, I would say, any other business solution out there for any organization. It aligns, optimizes your people, and accelerates your business results. Now, keep in mind, we are looking at the end results of the business results for a business, for a organization. Now, in the first block, as you see, there's a line. Well, this solution helps drive alignment across your entire organization by breaking down your strategy, for example, into a series of goals and cascading those goals out to every employee in the company. And then not only that, but also be able to track the progress against those goals. And on a very ongoing basis. It's not one time, once a year type of thing. This ensures that your people, your workforce, is aware of your company strategy and are engaged in working on the right things to support that strategy, as an example. Now, we have a second block where we have optimize. SuccessFactors help you optimize your workforce performance. And what does that truly mean? SuccessFactors offer next-generation cloud solutions for every part of your employee life cycle to make sure that you can find the right people, get them on the right roles, and not only that, get them to do right things. You're also rewarding, motivating, and developing them into the future leaders. Very important part of the organizational end-to-end cycle for the workforce. Then we have a third block. In third block, we have accelerate. Really, the solution, this help you accelerate the business with whether it's analytic insights that you need to make available for your leaders, for your HR leaders, for your business leaders to really drive business results. We call these BizX insights, and they show up depending on what you have deployed for or what you want to deploy for your organization. These will be available in the across the entire suite within the solution. And also we have a JAM solutions as part of the social learning. Now, as you see underneath the cloud, underneath those three blocks, I have Employee Central. Employee Central, of course, is the foundation for all of the talent in the cloud. And then as you see the arrow pointing out, it's the entire end-to-end SuccessFactors model and opportunity helping you grow your workforce in a different areas and as an execution strategy, bringing you the best results for your organization. Now that we've looked at what the SuccessFactors end-to-end model and opportunity look like, let's go ahead and take a look at how does performance and goals play a role in that solution. So you see some screenshots. You will continue to see some screenshots throughout the some of the slides. And then, of course, you'll be taking a look at the live system today. But just to orient the attendees, as you see, the SuccessFactors performance and goals, there are some screenshots. But really, you need your employees that are connected to the business, especially considering how the marketplace is emerging and how it's trending, and as a result, has different set of what I call business demands. Now, more than ever, you need goals that are clearly defined and have alignment with the business objectives within the organization. Not only that, that also they are tied with the rewards, and rewards are tied to the performance of the employees. So SuccessFactors helps with the performance management and goal management as part of unified, comprehensive talent solution in many innovative ways. Now with the SuccessFactors performance and goals, you have ability to break down the company strategy with the actionable goals. So that's something very fascinating in SuccessFactors. And you're looking at the actionable goals that are understood easily by your employees and acted upon. You need a solution that empowers you with the details and in-depth performance information of those employees to be able to retain and reward and develop your people strategy perspective. What will you do with the solution if you have, for example, employee adaptation issue? You need a solution that helps your employees feel very inclined and very excited to be using the solution from user experience perspective and user adaptation point of view. We'll be reviewing it together today throughout the live demo on how it is all addressed in SuccessFactors solution very shortly in just a few moments. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 different process areas within SuccessFactors performance and goals. Now, you have 4 process areas within performance and goals solution of SuccessFactors. That this solution brings the best of the breed from a solution perspective. We have a goal management, goal development management, which really addresses goals development and management end-to-end, whether you are cascading or improving accountability from accountability perspective and be able to develop the goal constantly. Then you have a 360-degree reviews process area, which is equipped with very fascinating automated workflows. You are able to review hidden strengths and weaknesses for comprehensive feedback and development point of view for your employees. You have performance reviews, third process area, extremely user-friendly and very intuitive. And we'll, again, see shortly how SuccessFactors has simplified the review process for managers and for your leaders. We have features like legal scan. Now, how does that work? What role does that play in the process? Cody will show us in just a few moments. We have a calibration in the solution that, from the process perspective, highlights the objectivity while you're assessing your performance of your employees. And you are engaged in identifying top performers and not only identifying, also be able to reward them. All of that is addressed in calibration. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next level of detail in each process area within the SuccessFactors performance management and goal management. So in the goal management and development, one of the awesome and the coolest feature that we have is a smart goal wizard. Again, we'll be looking at it live. What it does is in SuccessFactors, that SuccessFactors has provided you 500 built-in goals that help your organization, your company, for the alignment. Excellent tool. You can cascade those goals that are readily available, modify them however you need to, quickly to everyone and anyone. And the goal cascading in performance and goals is assigning a goal to another person. And it is really to enforce the, or I would say, share accountability for the goal. And not only you're doing that, not only that you are able to cascade, but you're able to develop the goals instantly and constantly, of course, based on your needs. Now, this cascading that we do of the goals, it can be done in 2 ways. You have ability to assign the goal to yourself as an employee, and you can cascade it out. What does that mean? That means you can assign goal to another individual, another person, another employee. We have several other areas within this process where you have a status report, really how employees can submit their goal status to the managers through that report, through that functionality. You have execution map. What that is, that there is a communication going on between the manager and between employee on the goal submission. So let's say if your manager wants to schedule some time to meet with the employee, there's an option where your manager can schedule and set up that meeting with the employee within the solution. Also, there's a meeting agenda option where which can be leveraged in that process. And once that goal review and that execution map process is complete, your manager can actually lock the goal so that there cannot be change on the goal setting for that particular employee. Also, legal scan, we'll see what legal scan can do for you as an organization to your managers. Let's go ahead, Cody, let's go ahead and take a look at what performance review does on the next level of detail. Now, this solution is designed really for managers to quickly assess everyone on your team in the team overview, and it'll help better manage your team's performance review process, be able to provide the feedback and get the guidance on what they need to do or when they need to do, for example. So from a process perspective, this solution supports managers also getting feedback from other employees for the employee that is being reviewed. It's one of the significant piece of the puzzle in the performance review process. In Team Rater, in this feature, you'll be able to see how instantly you can see your team ranked from top to bottom, and that really help you give you an ability to identify your top player and also help to develop them. So not only that, but you will also be able to spot your lowest performers. So the tool addresses high scores as well. Managers can also see the difference between managers' rating, other managers' rating, and employees' rating. Again, we have a writing assistant, and we'll see how that helps the reviewer throughout the process when they are engaged in the performance review process. There's a gap analysis. Managers can see difference between managers' ratings and employees' rating, as an example. Let's go ahead and take a look at what 360-degree review brings for the organizations. 360-degree review really help your organization or any organization capture a more balanced and a complete view of employee performance so that you're able to effectively identify whatever the gaps there are in the performance, and you're able to chart employees' development courses, for example. So this also provides a much more balanced assessment of the performance by being sort of like, for example, allow individuals to solicit the feedback from a variety of resources, whether that is internal rater or whether that's an external rater, as an example. So there's a lot of functionality within the solution. You are able to identify employees' blind spots, hidden strengths, to be able to guide them in the development course, or also as a multi-rater assessment that can factor and you can leverage into when you're engaged with your employees' formal performance review, as an example. So great tool really to give your managers for critical insights into your employees to better align their working behaviors with organization goals, and ultimately really as a key to improve their performance within the organization. Within the solution, you have ability to route the workflows based on the approval process that you have in place within the organization, and there's a lot of flexibility. There's a fantastic level of flexibility to meet your needs that you may have at the organization. So let's quick peek into what calibration can do for you within the SuccessFactors solution. Calibration, again, is a process which organizations are using to compare and potentially adjust the ratings of their team members to ensure performance levels, that those levels are standardized across the board. It empowers your managers to discuss for example, how to apply similar performance standards for all the employees. And what it does is it helps eliminate any potential manager bias for consistency. So in real world, again, a critical aspect of the performance and goal and reward process, and to be able to, in this solution, you're able to eliminate that potential manager bias. There are several checkpoints and there are several pieces of information that you are able to review as a manager, looking into other business functions as well. And all of that you are able to get simplified, easy to manage, automated process. So everything is automated, obviously, in the solution. Employee performance management and employee performance review, talent review, and the compensation review data for your workforce that can be calibrated through SuccessFactors Calibration. For today's webinar, I believe we will not have time to get into the calibration, but let's just go ahead and see what we have planned for the rest of the hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at the value proposition. So now we took a look at what SuccessFactors is about, end-to-end solution. We talked about in each process area, how can it address your needs, how can it address your requirements. So let's look at what's going on today. So on a high level, we said the SuccessFactors solution is very automated and very intuitive functionality as part of the talent management. And again, we'll take a look shortly. But let's talk about the real world. So in the real world, what in my experience, we find is that our customers have dependencies on perhaps there's no solution, or perhaps they have a homegrown solution, or maybe just a manual and some type of clunky process. And that's a very familiar equation for a lot of us. Now, if you're trying to move away from that and you're looking at the solution, you're evaluating what it is that will address your needs, to move away from what you have today in case you don't have a solution that gives you great analytics, that gives you usability perspective, that gives you the functionality and everything that you need in end-to-end performance and goals process, and integrate with other solutions as well. So we'll see, as you see on my screen, there's a blue box and there's a red box. Red box, which I just mentioned, that's something that is not working for our customers. And the blue box is what you will, some of the highlights of, how SuccessFactors works and how it addresses some of those needs. And how does it integrate seamlessly, for example, with your core HRI solution, of course, very easy to administer, and of course, used from user adoption perspective when you look at investing your efforts in training component, which becomes very time engaging and from a cost perspective as well. Solution that you will see proposes a balance and a regularity in the rewards process. I touched a little bit upon how solution can help you to tap on your top performers and lower performing employees, and by streamlining as an example, your objectives in the right direction for rewards perspective and for your employee development perspective. You want to be able to, and this is what this automated solution brings to the table, where you have employees, you have a manager that can align their individual goals with the company business objectives. You want to have an easy and engaging focal reviews and 360-degree assessment in case if that's what you like to get to expand, whether it's your performance insight or whether to improve employee engagement and retention all the way. It's, again, employee rating visuals. You want your manager to be able to see and like it and be able to be excited about using the solution, not only from look and feel, but also be able to ensure objectivity and fact-based assessment decisions on behalf of the employees that you would want to have your managers engaged in, and as an organization. so to avoid that sort of bias. So there's a lot of functionality within the solution, some of which we'll highlight today in the webinar shortly. So from the value proposition, Cody, I would say take it away and show us some magic within the solution. Let us see what the solution looks like. Cody, over to you.
Thanks, Karen. Before we move into the solution, just going to touch upon this process we're going to follow within the demonstration. It's going to be broken up into two segments. First, we're going to start with our goal plan and goal management, and then from there we'll move on into performance reviews. So first, I'll be in an administrative role, and we're going to set up a goal plan. We're going to choose a template, and then from there we'll move into a managerial role and align goals based on how we see fit, and even add a new goal, and also use our execution map. And then from there we'll give a status report based on the status of the goals to management. And then once that is completed, we're going to move back into an administrative role, follow a similar process that's followed for the goal plan setup, but we'll be setting up a performance review template. And from there, we'll move back into a managerial role and follow the route map, which is the step-by-step end-to-end process for completing a performance review. Now let's go ahead and move into the solution. Here's the login page for SuccessFactors. You just enter your username and password. And in just a few seconds, we'll be brought to the home page of the system, and we'll be logged in as an administrator in our organization. And you'll be able to see the various tabs and tiles that are set up that pertain to my job role as an administrator. And once logged in, here we are under Administration Tools. And we're just going to move over to the home page of the solution. And here you can see various tabs and tiles on the home screen. Now I can drag and drop these tiles pertaining to how I want them set up. And I can also add or remove tiles by using this tile browser. So for example, I can add my time card, add to home, and there it is on the home page. Now you can see at the top that we're logged in as Emily Clark, an admin and said organization. And we're going to use this drop-down menu and go into Admin Tools, which we originally landed on. Here I have pictured my company process and cycles. And now we're focusing on goal management. So we're going to go ahead and move into Manage Templates. We're going to set up our goal plan. Here we have a list of either previous templates that have been used or goal plans that are currently in use. And I also have the ability to add a new template from scratch. But for the sake of this demo, we're going to take a look at a template that's already been set up and use the 2014 Goals Extended Plan. Here I'm brought to a preview of the template that has been set up in the middle of the screen. I can edit the general settings, such as changing the language, or if I were setting up this goal plan for someone in Japan, for example, I could change the language to Japanese. I can edit the name of the goal plan and also add some instructions to my users, and also implement the start date and end date and choose whether or not to enable the Smart Goal Wizard. Next, I can edit categories that are on the template, such as corporate measure or individual measures, and I can also add an additional categories. And then lastly, I also have the ability to edit the fields that are on the goal plan, such as the goals that are pictured, start date, due date, and I can also add additional fields. So once I'm confident with the goal plan that I've set up. I'll just move back to preview and make sure everything that I need is on the goal plan. And next we're going to use a feature called proxy, where I'm going to move into a managerial role, and this manager's name is Carla Grant. And we're going to be brought in just a few seconds over to Carla Grant's homepage. Here we're brought to Carla Grant's homepage. You can see it has a similar look and feel to Emily Clark's. I still have the ability to drag and drop tiles on the home screen. But you can see that she has some different tiles on the screen that pertain to her job role, such as all of her direct reports are pictured, so I have quick access to their information. I have my personal info. So I also have the goal plan that we set up pictured on the home screen. Now we're going to move into the top left part of the screen where I have a drop-down menu that has every module within SuccessFactors. And we're going to start by moving into goals. Here I'm brought to the 2014 goal plan for Carla Grant, which we had just set up in an administrative role. We can see my employee hierarchy. I have the ability to change the display options of the goals that are pictured on the bottom of the screen. So I can either align them up or align them down. And then as you can see the goals that are pictured on the bottom, I have a few action items here where I can even add each goal to Outlook. Then I also have the ability to, as Kieran said, cascade a selected goal to other employees under my direct reports. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the execution map to get a look and feel for how these goals are cascaded through my direct reports. You can see in the middle of the screen we have the 4 goals that have been set up under the goal plan, and you can also see that they are color-coded in green, meaning a high probability of success, red meaning a low probability of success, and yellow meaning medium. In addition, there's a little tree that spans off of each goal. Now, this goal here, increase customer net promoter scores to 80% NPS, has a low probability of success. So I want to see who else is working on this goal. And to do so, I just utilize this arrow. And it's going to show me who else is aligned or cascaded onto this goal. Now I can see Sid Morton also has a low probability of success. And I can go about requesting information in 2 different ways from Sid. I have this little white box here, which is a quick card, which we're going to see throughout the demonstration. You get Sid's phone number as well as his email and his location within the company. And then I also have a drop-down menu in which I can ask the goal owner for an update and type a comment here like, for example, hey Sid, I can see that you have a low probability of success. What do we need to do to improve your success rate? And then request the update, and he'll get a notification within his system and be able to respond back to me. So now that we've taken a look at the alignment of our goals and the execution to this point, we're going to move over to the status report. You can see on the left-hand side of the status report, I still have my 4 goals pictured. I have the execution actual and execution target, but I also have the level of effort I feel has been put into each goal, and this is more than likely going to be based on the probability of success that we also have on the status report. As you can see, the 3 bars are still color-coded from green, red, and yellow. So our second goal, increase net promoter scores to 80%, has a low probability of success So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the level of effort to low. And we also have comment boxes here on the right-hand side of the screen. We're shaded in blue. We already have comments loaded into the system on the current status of the goal. And then I can also list any next steps that I feel are necessary to help accomplish reaching the goal. So now that our goal plan has been aligned, we've checked our execution map and submitted our status report, I'm going to move back into an administrative role and become self so that we can set up a performance review plan. So now I'm going to move back up. See, we're back in as Emily Clark. So I'm going to move back up to the drop-down menu and back into admin tools. Now instead of goal management, we're going to move into performance management and also manage templates. And we're going to follow a very similar process to what we followed for setting up a goal plan. As you can see on the screen, we have the ability to add a new template from scratch. And we also have templates that are currently in use or have previously been used. So what we're going to use here is our performance review. And we're going to be brought to the preview of the performance review, as you can see in the middle of the screen. And we also have the ability to edit our general settings, change the name of the performance review, and also give a description to what the performance review pertains to. I can also change the route map or pick the route map, which is the most important part of the performance review because it is the step-by-step process in which we need to follow in order to complete the performance review process. And then in addition, I can also edit the various fields and sections that will be on the performance review sheet, and I can also add new sections from scratch. Once that is completed, we'll move back into the preview just to make sure that everything I need is on the performance review template. And once that's completed, we'll move back into a managerial role, again using our proxy feature, and become Carla Grant so we can execute the performance review process for her employees. Here we're brought back to the home page, Carla Grant's home page. All our tabs and tiles are still the same. And we'll utilize our drop-down menu in the top left-hand side again and move into performance. Here we're brought to each employee's individual performance evaluation. You can see that I have all my direct reports here. And I again have employee quick cards. Next, we're going to move over into the team overview, where I'm going to get another picture of each person under my direct reports. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have everyone on my team pictured. And then at the top in blue, we have the route map that we established for the performance review process. The first step is feedback from others. So in order to complete the feedback from others portion of the performance review process, what SuccessFactors enables you to do is inquire to other employees in your organization that have either worked with, for example, Brenda Davis, and send them an email notification from the solution asking for feedback and comments about Brenda Davis. They get a notification in whatever email system they're using, for example, Outlook. They respond to the email in their email and then reply, and I get a notification sent back to SuccessFactors, and I can take their feedback into consideration. And in addition, if I want to inquire to someone outside of the organization, all I need is their email, and I can insert their email into feedback from others, and they will follow the exact same process. So once feedback from others is completed, we then move into the employee assessment stage, where each individual employee rates themselves on a scale of 1 to 5 based on the achievement of their current goals. So once that is completed, we'll move into the manager evaluation phase, where, for an example, we'll review Brenda Davis. Now, we have underneath here, it says route map, which is the step-by-step process we established in the administrative role. In gray, we have highlighted what step we are currently in, which is the manager evaluation phase. We have the introduction to the performance review process. We have the objective percentage, and then we have each individual or team goal that Brenda Davis is working on. That you can see on the right-hand side of the page, Brenda Davis's ratings are pictured along with her comment for the reason of why she's giving each rating. Now, this is nice to see because when I'm giving my managerial evaluation, I can take into account each employee's own rating of themselves and then give my rating and also a comment. Once that's completed and we've reviewed each goal for Brenda Davis, move down to the bottom to the development plan, where I can see that what Brenda Davis is doing to improve her skills. And here we have Brenda Davis is continuing to improve her communication skills, and we can see that she's on track. And I can also add a new learning activity, or I can add a new goal using our SMART Goal Wizard. Then once this is complete, we either save and finish later or send for calibration, and then move back into the team overview stage. And I would follow the managerial evaluation. I would complete that for each individual employee. And then move into the one-on-one meeting phase, where I'd schedule a one-on-one meeting with each employee to review the employee assessment and the manager evaluation, and then we would send for signatures. And each individual's performance review would be completed. Next, we have a feature which is called the Team Rater, where I'm going to get another view of my team on one page. But here I'm allowed to see each individual score on the same page. And we have categories on the left-hand side, which is communication, customer focus, hiring, and teamwork. And that can be set up based on your organizational needs. We again have our quick card for each employee. Then we also have the summary of the Team Rater, which is the summary of each individual's overall score. Now you can see Marcus Hoff's score is an average of 4.5. So if you keep your eye on his score, I'm going to adjust his communication score from a 5 to a 1. You can see that his score is updated in real time from 4.5 to 3.5. Now, in addition, I also have comment boxes that we have seen previously in the demonstration. And in gray, or in blue, we have comments that I've already put in. And then in white, there is no comment in the field. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a comment for Marcus Hoff's low communication score. And just for an example, we'll say, I'm a manager that doesn't always necessarily follow language compliance within my organization. So we'll say Marcus Hoff does a good job for an older guy. Before I'm done, I'm going to use a feature which Kieran previously highlighted, which is our legal scan. What this legal scan just did was pick up the word older and suggested that I reconsider the word older because it's not compliant to my organization's language policy. So instead of rewriting this comment, what I'm going to do is use a feature called Writing Assistant, which Kieran also previously highlighted. And here I get various preloaded comments that are in the system. I have different positivities such as improve, meets, and exceeds, but I also have various comments that relate to each category. So Marcus received a 1 in communication, so we'll pick the top comment, uses jargon and confusing terminology, and we get a preview of the total quote on the bottom of the screen. As you can see, the narrative is I encourage Marcus to use simple, and I can also adjust the narrative to I encourage you to use simple, etc. And then I can also adjust the positivity from a low positivity to the middle and then the maximum amount of positivity. Then I would go ahead and place the quote and it would be presented in the comment box. So now we've seen how SuccessFactors performance and goals can help you get your employees working on goals relevant to your organization, and also how you can identify and retain your top talent. Now I'll turn it back over to Kieran for our wrap-up and summary.
Thank you so much, Cody. It was very refreshing to see, once again, all the awesome bells and whistles of the solution within the SuccessFactor. So to wrap it up, we all noticed how Cody navigated in the system, showing us different transactions, that this is a very simple, automated, and very intuitive functionality as part of the talent management. Provide you very engaging review process and all the assessments that you need to be able to expand, whether it's your performance inside within the organization or to improve employee engagement and be able to the retention perspective as well. Employees and managers, they are able to align their individual goals with the company's business objectives. So in case, I give you an example. So let's say CEO of your company walks into different floors or different business units of your organization, whether it's HR, whether it's finance or CRM, or anybody on the manufacturing shop as an example. So now if he or she asks that employee, what is the organization's objective? Now, in this case, your employee should be able to respond to that question, right? Because you have a direct alignment of their goal with the organization objective. So there is a direct alignment. One of the key aspects of SuccessFactors performance management and goal management that help your organization achieve that goal. So again, the solution empowers your managers to be able to provide more meaningful feedback and the coaching. And we saw some of the cool features like writing assistant or the coaching advisor or the legal scan, how that supports your users on verbiage awareness and from a compliance perspective to make sure you have your manager typing for an older guy, right? So be able to compare and rate your employees across the same dimensions to be able to identify who are your high performers, who are your future leaders for your organization.